Hello, this is Rick Cortez with the February 2025 update on the Westwood Broadmark Tactical Growth Strategy. We have reduced our market exposure by 25% since December. We've gone from 67.5% to 42.5% where it stands currently. We've done this because of the four pillars, and here are the reasons. Number one, equity valuations remain elevated. Number two, investor sentiment is increasingly speculative. Number three, the Fed has indicated a more gradual approach to cutting interest rates. And number four, we are seeing some momentum divergences. And the reason we're concerned is because these conditions usually precede some sort of market correction, which gets the market back in gear. Let me say this. As long as monetary policy and momentum are positive, we will have a long position in the market. Nonetheless, in the last week or two, with the talk of tariffs, we've seen the market perhaps begin some sort of correction. So let me say a word on tariffs. Alexander Hamilton instituted the first tariff in the late 1700s. And tariffs were the greatest source of federal income up until the imposition of the income tax in 1913. In fact, they were as much as 95% of America's income. The history of tariffs is that they usually do have an impact on both the economy and the stock market. In 1890, there was the McKinley tariff. McKinley in those days was known as the Napoleon of protection. And the tariffs were 50%, up to 50% on goods and services in 1890. But the unemployment rate went from 4% to 18% 3 years later in 1893, accompanied by a stock market crash and a recession. We all know that the Smoot-Hawley tariff in 1930 at least exacerbated the Great Depression. And when George Bush put tariffs on the steel industry in 2002, the market was 26% lower 1 year later when he removed the tariffs. Now, I'm not an economist, and I'm not saying there's a cause and effect. What I am saying is that we are risk managers, and there may be some risk here. And even President Trump has said Americans should expect to feel some pain. Well, one thing we're pretty certain of, we can expect more volatility. So let me take this opportunity to tell you that our tactical growth strategy, number one, has 1/2 the volatility of the S&P 500 over time. Number two, has a negative correlation to the stock market during major market declines, such as the dot-com bubble, the great financial crisis, and the pandemic. And finally, number three, we can act as a shock absorber during these tough times. So this is Rick Cortez. Thank you for joining me. Please join me in March for the next update.